Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The preview video for Days of Our Lives, which stars Holly and Nicole and Xander and Sarah Sizzle and No Pulse for Harris, reveals that viewers will witness a mix of romantic scenes and frightening surprises. DOL's week-after-week promotion starts off with some wedding photographs as Chanel Dupree discusses sealing the deal with Johnny DiMera. Despite the fact that Paulina values a medical procedure is currently a planning struggle, Johnny and Chanel will work around that. On account of Johnny's large thought, he'll ensure the wedding continues that Paulina actually will partake in the good times. In the recreation area, Days say John Dark will shock Marlena Evans with a sweet excursion. Marlena will be more than happy, yet she might detect that John actually isn't exactly himself. John will have more worries about Constantine Melianis and his past as the pawn, however he'll figure out how to idolize Marlena for some time in any case. When Nicole DiMera brings Holly Jonas back home from Italy, she'll call EJ DiMera her Valentine and applause him for getting it going. Holly will apparently still be senseless, however EJ might pay as much as possible so her principal experts can come screen her in Salem. Despite the fact that Holly is improving, the specialists could think she'd be much more responsive in a recognizable climate as of now. In any event, EJ will help Holly get comfortable and will have a chance to observe Valentine's Day with Nicole close by. Days week by week C likewise includes Rafe Hernandez providing Jada Tracker with a heart-molded box of chocolates while Trip Johnson and Wendy Shin share a sizzling kiss. Since Valentine's Day is Steve Johnson and Kayla Johnson's commemoration, Steve will stir Kayla with a yellow rose and a charming update. With respect to Teresa Donovan, she'll become weary of looking out for Alex Kiriaki's proposition and will apparently respond to him before he even asks about getting hitched. My response is yes. Yes. Teresa shouts in DOL's week-after-week promotion. Alex might ask Teresa to slow her roll in the event that he wasn't really anticipating proposing unexpectedly early. On the other hand, perhaps Teresa's energy will come off on Alex and persuade him to put the ring she tracked down on her finger quickly. Done with Sarah Horton and Xander Cook, they'll at long last collapse with regards to all the hot enticement they've been managing. Days spoilers say Xander and Sarah will get wet and wild in the shower, so a few hot scenes are coming up. Ava Vitali will use her phone to call for assistance on the loading dock because Harris Michaels was shot twice. Trip won't find a heartbeat as he deals with Harris, yet he'll get Harris's heart thumping once more and ensure he has a battling opportunity to get by. Paramedics will at last take Harris to the clinic so that more should be possible for him. In spite of the fact that Harris will be not doing so great, he'll get through this clinical emergency eventually. Kate Roberts Brady will use her own gun to repel the armed intruder at Harris's apartment and call Lucas Horton to check on him. Across town, the Horton house fire will bring a few frightening minutes when Chad DiMera and Julie Williams stall out inside for a brief time. The uplifting news is Julie and Chad will ultimately get someplace protected alongside Doug Williams, Thomas DiMera and Charlotte DiMera. The terrible news is the Horton house will be charred, so Julie will cry to Doug about observing around 50% of her life disintegrate. In the meantime, Chad will get refreshes through an upsetting call and understand this was no mishap, so he might blame Clyde Weston, James Reed. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Xander will likewise confront a few upsetting allegations following this turbulent evening, however things aren't exactly as they appear. Days of Our Lives Xander's suspicious run, Harris shot, flames erupt, and Teresa's ring reveal that Wendy Shin encouraged Trip Johnson to reconcile with Ava Vitali following his most recent outburst. Trip acknowledged that it was best to keep the peace if they were all going to live under one roof and expressed his regrets to Ava at the bistro for the way he acted when he discovered her with Stefan DiMera. Before eventually sharing a toast with Ava, Wendy and Trip discussed plans for Valentine's Day, indicating that they were all in good spirits. At Xander Cook's place, allurement rose over with Sarah Horton. Xander reported that he was going for a takeoff from Sarah and eliminate himself from that enticement. Sarah kissed Xander and attempted to inspire him to remain for an alternate exercise in the room, however he demanded leaving in his running clothing. When Xander was gone, Sarah saw that he'd abandoned his telephone. There was a message from a confidential number inquiring as to whether it was finished, so Sarah was perplexed. In the recreation area on Friday's Days episode, Xander quit during his rush to momentarily look at his watch. At Alex Kiriaki's and Teresa Donovan's place, they talked about Brady Dark's appearance at her new gathering. In spite of the fact that Alex blamed Brady for spying, Teresa safeguarded her ex and felt he truly should have been there for himself. Teresa conceded she'd most likely go to one more gathering after work on Valentine's Day, so Alex appeared to be astonished over the number of gatherings that required. Since Teresa's recuperation was vital to her, she trusted Alex would have the option to deal with her long-lasting dedication to that. Teresa was resolved not to allow Tate to dark down once more. Alex consoled Teresa prior to going to his room to manage some work messages. While Teresa was cleaning up, she took off Alex's coat from a seat and was stunned over the wedding band box that dropped out. At the bar on Friday's Days episode, Kate Roberts Brady, Lauren Koslow, was equipped with a firearm as she moved toward Lucas Horton, Brian DiTillo, in obscurity. When Kate acknowledged Lucas had slipped down for a tidbit, she reproved him for endangering himself. Harris showed up to address Lucas also before they all returned up to Harris's place. Kate got refreshes on Lucas reaching columnists for the new medication emergency story and objected. Harris likewise requested Lucas to wait after he got a text from Ava about gathering at the shipping bay. Afterward, a secret man entered with a firearm and discharged 2 shots in Harris's loft, so Lucas and Kate's voices could apparently be listened to crying. When Harris came to the shipping bay, somebody wearing running garments appeared. Harris perceived the individual before him before the secret shooter discharged 2 shots into his chest. A couple of running tennis shoes remained by injured Harris, who at last blacked out. At the Horton house on Friday's Days episode, Julie Williams, Susan Seaforth Hayes, told Thomas DiMera, Carrie Christopher, and Charlotte DiMera, pre-Winter Gendron, the tale of the family home and all who had resided there including Abigail DiMera. When the children were sleeping, Chad offered his thanks to Julie as they shared some unique cognac and discussed how Chad felt at ease there, as well. After Chad and Julie resigned for the night, somebody snuck in the Horton house and splashed the spot with gas prior to lighting up a match. Flares immediately immersed the family room as the concealed man respected his workmanship on Friday's DOL episode. Days of Our Lives say there's considerably more. SOS, tough situation, consuming crisis. Days of Our Lives Uncover the Cleanser will start the week off with a bang. Days of Our Lives spoilers features. A specialist frantically attempts to save a day-to-day existence, while 2 characters are placed in a tough situation, and a house fails spectacularly. What's on tap for Monday's episode? It's time to get started. Days of Our Lives Trip Johnson endeavors to save a day-to-day existence. Days show Trip Johnson will give his best for save a day-to-day existence. Seems as though this could be about Harris Michaels, Steve Burton, shooting. Will Harris be all right? The person's portrayer, Steve Burton, has left the show and is getting back to General Emergency Clinic 1 month from now. This how Harris goes out is as well? DOL SOS, tough situation, consuming crisis. Days Ava Vitali and Stefan DiMera are barbecued. In the meantime, recommend that Rafe Hernandez will put Ava Vitali and Stefan DiMera in a tough situation in regards to what has been going on with Harris. Ava will probably be crushed over the cops shooting, so will she lay every one of her cards on the line to Rafe? Likewise read Days of Our Lives Emergency, Albert Alar flames back at Ariane Zucker's outlandish cases. Across town, added secrets note that Paulina Cost will feel regretful that Chanel Dupree and Johnny DiMera's wedding has been delayed in light of her. Obviously, she'll fault herself. In any case, it's not exactly her shortcoming that her harmful thyroid growth is extending at a fast rate, and she wants to take the most readily accessible medical procedure date, which turned out to be her girl's wedding date. Might Janelle at any point assist with facilitating her interests?